Kalimera, Kalispera, Kalinichta, no matter where in this wild, wacky, and sometimes wonderful world you might be, thank you for making the Highbury Squad part of your day. The Total Football Show is back. Let's rock and roll, people. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to another live edition of the Highbury Squad, and the Total Football Show is back, although for the next few weeks it's going to be called the Totally Transfers Show, and we'll tell you why. But welcome once again, reunited, and it feels so good with Super Kyle Campbell. At ease, Kyle. At ease. How you doing?
All good, thank you. All good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm really great. I really am. I'm very well rested. It's good to see you. And I have to say, what is that inflatable toy you have? Dear God, your father failed epically, didn't he? Failed epically. Where is he? He'll learn the hard way, that one. He is going to learn the hard way. It's my road, or there's no road. There's no path here to speak on the Highbury Squad. Let's make sure the inflatable toy is down, and let's allow Kyle to return before we greet the squaddies on this fine summer evening, shall we? Huh? That's what you call parenting. Yeah. Proper parenting, okay? You know, when you told me earlier today, when I said, are you good to go for like 9? And you said you were busy getting a tattoo. And I was like, oh, Kyle doesn't strike me like the tattoo type. And then when you said it was of the Champions League, I knew you were pulling my leg.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I actually did get a tattoo.
What? Let's see. Are you allowed? Wait, hold on. Wait. Where is it?
On my arm.
Okay, let's see it. Is it Manchester City related? Does it say 115 charges?
Funny.
What does that say?
It says those we love don't go away.
Oh, that's nice.
This one says they walk beside us every day.
Very profound. I like that. Yep. Round of applause. You redeemed yourself with that ridiculous toy you bought out earlier in the show. Very nice. Very spiritual. I like that. Should we say hi to some of the squaddies before we start talking about the beautiful game?
Yeah, let's go. Yep.
All right. We got Ian in the house. Brady's banana. Great minds think alike. Does it say 115 charges? Clearly it doesn't. But still, it was fun while it lasted. We got E. Ross. We got Trev. Yawn is in the house. Troy's here. Matthew Hudson is here. Mark's here. Chief Like Officer Tammy's here. Rich is here. The whole fam jam is here. Amira, PW, Demsek. Thank you so much, everyone. QA Guna, all of you. Carol's here as well. Marcus, everyone. Suraj. If I've missed you, you know how much I love you. So here's how tonight's going to go. All right, you kids. So I came back from my holiday, or as we say in America, vacation, and didn't really share any of it with you. And I thought, you know what? Kyle's the guy to share my vacation stories with, you know? So stay tuned because we've got a top shelf agenda this evening. Here's how it's going to go. Firstly, as always, we want to say thank you to our good friends at ZENITH Coins, who will be partnering with again this coming season. Your code for 15%, HS15, is always usable any time of year. All right. So thank you once again to the boys. And we will be giving away Highbury Squad coins during the summer. So there's lots of fun to be had, plus some big news coming, which I will share in the coming weeks. Aside from that, part 2 of our Nick Ramsdale interview will be airing during the summer. So you're going to want to stay tuned for those details. And I was going to play a clip of it, but I was so busy, Carl, getting ready for everything. I will also be posting a conversation that I had with the legend that is Gilberto Silva. Let me tell you, Kyle, you meet a lot of footballers. You talk to a lot of footballers. He was mesmerizing. Let me tell you, this fella, the invisible wall, I was writing to your dad and I said, I'm mesmerized. Like, I didn't even have to ask I asked 2 questions and he just spoke, and he spoke about Arsenal in such an eloquent way. We didn't talk about transfers or anything like that. He literally talked about the ethos of the club, and it was superb. He also told me to tell your dad that he sends lots of hugs and stuff. So that was really nice. So I'll share that with you guys and I'll post it and you'll know when that episode drops. Been very busy. Also, I met this guy, Kyle.
No way.
Huh?
What baller?
Wait, I didn't even chuck him off this time. He just disappeared. You see? I dropped you.
Yeah.
When this picture came up. Do you think I'm cool now?
Yeah. Well, I always thought you were cool, though. I never
really
didn't think you were. Yeah, I always thought you were cool.
I'm an old lady, but it was a really special night. And I stood on the turf of the Rose Bowl, which I've done before, but they were handing out roses. Big game, LA Galaxy, LFC. It was a lot of fun. That's where the US women won that famous World Cup in 99, taking the shirt off on, of course, 94, which was amazing because I got to speak to Franco Baresi last night as well, who played in the 94 World Cup. So more to come on that at the end of the show. And then I'll tell you about my holiday and who sat next to me on the plane. Who does that look like to you?
To me?
Yeah. I'm so stupid. I'm in a silly mood. We're going to have fun tonight. But I'll come back to it. Okay, I'll come back to it. Let's see if the squaddies recognize it at all. Kyle, what have you been up to since the last time we hung out and spoke?
Oh, I've just been training a lot, been doing a lot of fitness. Obviously, it's pre-season. So, just getting back in full flow now. Season starts soon. So, I've literally just been playing football, really. I haven't really had a break. Just been playing football, working hard, and improving myself.
You look like you beefed up. I mean, is it
Yeah,
me or
I
is it
probably
just
have.
because you... Huh?
I probably have because I've been working hard a lot. Been doing a lot of running, a lot of like strength exercises, stuff like that. So
what's happening with your football? What's going to be happening next season for you, Kyle? What's the update?
too bad the plan is to stay at the same team, and then from there I'll just see what I can do, really. Like, see how many goals I score, see how many I assist, and see just how consistently well I perform every game. Then we'll take it from there. Let's see what interest comes in, or let's see if I stay. It's one of the things, really. I'm focused on now, and then take every game as it comes. So that's the main aim for the season coming in.
And you're working really hard, and there's no off time. Honestly, even as a broadcaster, there's no time off. Football is so 365 days now. There's no time to take off, and I can only imagine if you're trying to make it as well. There's no cheat days, and if there are, there are only a couple. And keep up the hard work. You're looking good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Looking real good.
Appreciate
I like it. All right, let's kick off, shall we? Transfer mayhem is in flux, and we've got a few Arsenal bits and bobs happening as well. But I thought we might start off with a bit of fun before we start talking about this window. Is the last season was an incredible one for Arsenal, not only in the transfer window, I think, but also in terms of the season that we had, finishing second to the greatest team that has ever lived, apparently. But who do I think were the best transfers of last season? And I gave you some homework and I said that we should both pick our top 5. And I wondered what you came up with, who you have back to front. Who do you have at number 5?
Yeah. Number 5, I'm going to go with... I'm going to have to go with... I think Zinchenko. I'd say Zinchenko at number 5 for Arsenal.
So, funnily enough, I deleted all my pictures from last season because I want to start clean. I don't want
Yeah,
any of the kits from last season. So I don't, and I deleted Zinchenko as well. I just deleted him, not deliberately, but he's my number 5. I think Zinchenko kind of reinvented how we play, gave
yeah,
Arteta, a different style that I think we're going to see a lot more of, maybe even on the other side of the pitch next season,
oh yeah,
Kyle as well. So I think he was great. And I know he had a glaring mistake at Liverpool and maybe a couple towards the end, but there's no denying that he was a great buy, right?
yeah, yeah. He was a great buy. Like in terms of like the way he started off, obviously he started really well, and obviously towards the end, obviously he dropped in form, but that can happen sometimes. But all like overall, he had a very, very you can say good first season for
Yeah.
Arsenal. He did.
Impactful attitude wise, which I think was really important for us as
Yeah,
well, as we're trying to kind of, regroup here. We'll get to Xhaka, Moonicorn. Don't you worry. I know. This is a picture I didn't delete because I knew that we'd need it today. So we'll get to him at the end. All right. Who have you got number 4, Kyle?
number 4, I have got Julian Alvarez for Man City.
Hmm.
I think he goes under the radar a lot. He actually got 10 goals last season in the Premier League. And
All off the
obviously,
bench? Were those all off the bench last season, or maybe 1 or 2 starting? Most of them
I
off the
think
bench, no?
one or two starting. Obviously, he started against Fulham away and he scored that potential goal of the season, which is
Hmm.
a good goal. And he scored against Liverpool at home. He scored against he scored against Fulham at home as well when we won 2-1. And yeah, also he's just a workhorse. The amount of times he's come on the pitch, or the amount of times he's started and just put in a very good performance, and he's just I haven't really seen him play bad. Like
Mm.
if he doesn't play well, he works hard, and I've got time for that. I've got a lot of
Yeah,
time for that.
definitely good signing and
Yeah,
one for the future for sure. At number 4, for me, I'm going to go for Trossard. Even though I felt, and look, I've kept a picture of Trossard. There's a reason I've kept some pictures and I haven't others. There we go. There he is. Welcome,
yeah,
Trossard. I thought that he was a revelation when he came in January, a time where we needed a little bit more oomph up front. Martinelli definitely benefited from the competition. I think it lit up fire up his arse. And Trossard came in and had, again, not only people were worried about the way he left Brighton and if he was going to have an attitude problem coming to the
yeah,
Arsenal, but I think it's evident now you can't come to the Arsenal if you have an attitude problem because Mikel will eat you for breakfast and then drink your milk. So I felt like though Mikel maybe should have played him a little bit more towards the end, he gave us that X factor. So for me at number 4, I'm going to go for Trossard,
yeah.
who came in January.
I think that's a bit of a. I can't really agree with that one. To be honest, that Trossard one. Only because I don't think he actually did enough for Arsenal to actually get in that top 5 of best transfers. That's just my opinion. I don't really see him do a lot for Arsenal. Like
You don't think that
did he?
if you don't think that if we hadn't assigned him in January, especially in those first 4 or 5 games, same with Jorginho. For me, did he do a lot? No, but just that goal against Aston Villa, was it worth the 12 million to just keep the machine rolling? I think yes,
Yeah,
100%.
I don't know. I just think if he was really that good, he would have started for Arsenal. That's what I think. That he
Yeah, but
didn't
I
really
mean,
start.
Mahrez, if he was really that good, he'd start more games for Manchester City. The point is to have players in multiple positions, a la Manchester City. And I think that argument, if he was really good, he'd start. That's a notion that Arsenal fans have to put in the dumpster, because next season there's
True.
not going to be, oh, I'll start in 11. You got to get past that nonsense. You're not going to win a title playing 11 players over and over again. So, with that token, I respect that you feel he didn't have the impact, but I feel that even for us, the way we played, the games they played to have an impact
Yeah.
was massive for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3, I'm tied between. I'm tied between 2 players, but I'm gonna go. I'm pretty sure was Trippier signed this season or was it last season? I can't.
Trippier was signed No, he came in the January of the season before, didn't he? Trippier? Squaddies, find out, let us know. I feel like he came halfway and had the whole season. Maybe I'm wrong. But that would be decent, Trippier. But
Yeah,
you know, yeah.
yeah. Well, mine's Trippier. If Trippier did not sign this season, then it's Sven Botman at number 3.
Hmm. Decent player. Go on. Explain.
Yeah, I just think he was solid. I think towards the end he did struggle a bit, but there was a wasn't there a statement where the Newcastle hadn't conceded a goal for like a stupid amount of minutes, and obviously he was in that back line, and yeah, he was just commanding everything,
Mm-hmm.
and he was winning everything. He's a big guy as well, a big brute. You can't really stop him really, and obviously
Yeah.
not a lot really got past him towards the end of the season. Then obviously players started getting tired, and then that's when the mistakes start happening.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah,
Definitely an impact signing, no doubt about that. And for Newcastle, I think, elevated their quality for sure. And
yeah,
he was a big part of kind of, what they were able to do. And yes, wow, for an old lady, my knowledge isn't bad. Trippier did sign the season before, so he
yeah,
definitely doesn't count. Okay, for me, number 3, I'm a little bit torn on this because half of me thinks he was a really important signing, and the other half thinks that, well, was happy that he got suspended quite a bit. But he did help drive Manchester United to 2 finals. Casemiro, I think, it's hard for me to pick him because I really enjoyed watching him play as a footballer at Real
yeah,
Madrid. Don't like him as much, of course, Kyle, at the Manchester United Red Devils. But I don't think you could deny that without him, when he wasn't playing, you could see that, they were
yeah.
missing him.
There's a massive difference when he wasn't playing. Like,
Yeah.
but even though his discipline wasn't great, still you still need him on the pitch because he's that know-how. He knows when to make the challenge. He knows when to make that tactical foul. He knows when to make that pass in behind. He knows when to take that player out. He's been there, done it all.
Yep, for sure. All right, we've got 2 more to go here. 2 for me, 2 for Kyle. And you're going to want to stay tuned because in just a little bit, we have a special from Super Kevin Campbell on the departure of Steve Round from the Arsenal. Steve Round and the Arsenal just announcement this morning by mutual consent. It seems like the Gunners are elevating everywhere, Kyle, including our assistants. Watch out for the Gunners. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. Who have you got at number 2?
I'm torn between 2 players, but I don't know if this player actually counts as a signing. Does Saliba count? Because he was already at
Sure
Arsenal.
does.
He does count, does he? He was
Why
on loan,
not?
wasn't he?
He was on loan. I mean, technically, but it felt like a signing, didn't it? Let's be honest. And you know what? I didn't delete his picture either, and there's a reason why. Why not? Include him on the list.
I'm going to say the 2 players who I'm torn between, and I think the squaddies know who they are. It's Saliba and Casemiro. I don't know what one.
Okay, to be fair, I think you would have to pick Casemiro because we're talking
Yeah,
about transfers, right? And
yeah,
Saliba on loan, there's no doubt he felt like a brand new player and a transfer for us. I'm not going to, I would love to pick him, but I have to be fair.
yeah,
So you'll have to go with Casemiro, methinks.
yeah, yeah. I'll go Casemiro, and I'll add back to the point you said about Casemiro, where he's been a life and soul United. If they didn't have him, they would have really struggled. And
But if
I
you
think any
want,
United fan will say that.
if you want to talk about him, you can go ahead. How much, like seriously, if there's one player that you could have of ours, is him, isn't it?
Him or
Or is it Saka?
Him or Martinelli, yeah. Him or
Oh,
Martinelli.
Martinelli. God, so many to
Yeah.
choose from these days.
There
So
are a
many.
lot. You got a good squad. Even Rice, I'll take Rice as well. And
I bet you
Timber.
would.
Yeah. Not Havertz, but
Gunnables. We'll get to him. This is Gunnerballs. Follow him. Get your discount at Etsy. Lets us use all of his art for free. This is Rice. We love Gunnerballs. Go check his stuff out. Right. At number 2, then you've got Casemiro. At number 2, I have Jesus. Huge signing. Who, by the way, had a little bit of a pop at your boss today, didn't he, Jesus? He's triggered by not winning the Champions League. That means he's going to come back angry next season, score more goals, prove himself again. Everyone wants Jesus to continually prove himself. He changed the trajectory of the Arsenal Football Club from the get-go last season, and he was the reason we were top of the table. And when he was injured and Eddie stepped in, all Eddie had to do was just keep scoring goals, which he did. But my goodness, what a signing he was, right?
I don't know. I don't know. Really? Second?
I mean, give me someone else. It's my top 5. I mean, come on, come at me. Tell me why not? Why not?
I just look at it. How many goals did Jesus get in the Prem this season?
Few. Double digits. Double digits. Double digits.
Was it?
Yeah.
I just think to myself, well, if you're looking at
exactly, he would have scored 20. Thank you, 33-5ers. Still waiting for one of those, by the way. Yeah. He come on, you can't say that he didn't have an impact. The tracking back, the movement off the ball, something Arsenal players hadn't even really seen before, that type of effort, that type of energy. He infused his energy on the whole team. He was infectious. Saka and Martinelli worked even harder, and had he not been injured, I think that we would have been a totally different team, maybe towards the end even. I don't know, but his impact was massive. I would say so important, and the reason why we got off to a great start, like I said.
Okay.
11 goals.
11 goals and 33.
I said double digits. I knew it was 11. I just didn't want to say it out loud. Still,
so
Saka got double digits. Odegaard got double digits. Martinelli got double digits.
I agree with Clock Orange. I think he's lit to live in there by being put in that number 2. I think there's a lot. I think him and Nunes are about the same.
What about Kyle? What's his name? That chap that used to play for Leeds. He's in your midfield. Got a treble. Nick de Livin, 3 silver. What's his name again? Calvin. That's
Phillips.
it. Yeah, I was thinking of the DJ.
I think if we're talking about we could just throw Nunes in at number 2, then really, because Nunes got 9 goals in the Prem.
Yeah, but it's impact. Like Gunnar Ross is saying here, it's about leading and what he was asked to do with the press. And, you can't say Nunes had the same impact. Oh, yeah, sure you can, Newman. Exactly. What's going on here? What's the big news with Gunnar Ross and everyone giving him thumbs up? We're very busy having a conversation about transfers, and I love how the chat digresses, of course, and talks about something completely different. So if there's big news, please let me know. I'd like to be involved in that. Okay, number 1. Should we just go on? You say it for both of us.
Erling Braut Haaland.
Okay, next subject.
But the treble winner. He's won this 3 times.
Never win anything for Norway, which means Odegaard won't either. All right, let's talk about some of Arsenal's business, shall we? Because it is hotting up and it's very, very exciting. By the way, well done, Kai Havertz. I mean, look at that. What a lovely family. Look at those little ones. Just adorable, aren't they? He looks like this is the Kai Havertz I want to see at Arsenal. Lose the hair. I mean, it doesn't even look like him there, does it?
No, not really.
Looks like a character from a Guy Ritchie movie. Hardcore to the max right there.
Yeah.
Like Havertz? Rate?
Not really, no. I don't really. He's an alright player, I guess. But obviously, he must be good because he is a pro footballer. But at the same time, he did score the winner against us in the Champions League final. So I don't think I'll ever like him.
There you go.
Yeah. Look, I think it would be a good signing. I think I personally think he is a better signing than Mason Mount, but I call him Mickey Mount because
Oh, come
yeah,
on. I do too. I think he's
yeah,
I don't think we've seen the best of him. I believe Arsenal fans will see the best of Havertz.
yeah,
Especially he'll be playing with better players. He'll
yeah,
enjoy having more of the ball. I don't think people appreciate what he does off the
yeah,
ball, to be honest with you. A little bit like
exactly.
Jesus. He's a
If I was
hustler.
Mount, I would have stayed as well. If I was Mount, I would have stayed, and if I was Havertz, I would have gone Arsenal.
What do you think about the
Arsenal let
Mount
him
thing?
down.
Do you think
I just
Mount's
think,
been moaning? Do you think he's been a little bitchy since
yeah,
leaving Chelsea?
I think he's been a bit throwing his toys at the pram at Chelsea. I think he's gone, oh yeah, I'm not. Like people aren't like. I don't think people are taking him seriously when he was at Chelsea. I think obviously he started getting benched a bit in the England team, even though Southgate's his dad. Like he was starting to get benched a bit. So I'd,
Mm.
I don't think I personally don't think Mount. He's good, but I don't think it's the right move from United. I don't really know what
It's an interesting
like
one.
how's it going to improve his game? Like they've got a lot of Mason Mounts in that team. Like
Do
it
they?
isn't like I think he's a workhorse, isn't he? Like what else is he good at? He just works hard.
Well, they've given him the number 7 shirt, which is interesting.
Yeah, but
And I
he doesn't
mean,
really score goals. It should have been
no.
Garnacho, shouldn't it?
Well, I think he's going to be their star next season. Didn't I thought they were going to give him the number 7 shirt,
That's what I
Garnacho.
mean.
So I don't
That's
know.
what
I
I
don't
mean.
know what happened there. Anyway, enough about Manchester United. Although I do feel, and there's a question I'm coming to you after this. Well, before we kind of talk about, come on, this is a great signing, right?
Yeah,
Jokes aside,
yeah.
this is a
Is he
fantastic
what?
signing. Look what he's doing already, Kyle. Is that the salute? I think it is.
Is he 105 mil though? I understand the market is crazy right now for prices, but you're overpaying,
Was
aren't you?
Jack
Really?
Grealish worth 100 mil? Of course, now he's helped
Well, yeah,
had
he
his
is.
best season. You know, I mean, come on.
Won the
Was
treble.
Anthony
So
worth
yeah,
85 million? What about that
no.
Enzo? What's his name? Enzo. I'm thinking about
What Enzo
Ennio
Fernandez?
Morricone. He was 125. Come on. We're
Yeah,
cooking now. We're cooking.
I guess, but at the same time though, if we were to sign him, we'll get slated for paying that much for him. So you'll get slated for
No, no
paying
one
that much for him.
slated you for paying the clause for Grealish. No one,
Yes,
no
they
one.
did. Yes, they
No,
did.
come on.
Yes, they did.
No.
You
People thought
you
it was
know they did.
smart. Nah. 100 million for Grealish. I think after he tanked in the first season, people questioned it. Just like people questioned Nicola Pepe, 72 million. Just like people are questioning Anthony and Manchester United, even Pogba. I mean, yeah. But
Even Sancho, really.
overall, Manchester City get respect for their transfer business. We don't. And all I've heard is the last 2 years is that Rice Baby is the best English midfielder since since English player since Bobby Moore. Look, he's lifted a trophy. Every single Manchester United, Chelsea, they all wanted him. The Jason Cundys, our good friend of the show, and all the Goldsteins and everyone on Talksport, all they used to do was, "Oh, Declan. We love Declan. He's such a good guy too. Get him on the phone. He always talks to us." I mean, he's got everything, and we got him, and people cannot stand it. And I'm here for it. Cook that rice on high, baby.
Yeah, I guess. I guess you did get him. To be honest, I would rather Kovacic than Rice anyway. So I didn't really want Rice in the first place, and yeah, I'd rather get Frankie De Jong or Barella.
Frankie de Jong over Rice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You're talking now in terms of the last 2 years, the quality of work, you cannot compare Frankie de Jong and Rice. I get it though. I get that you feel, and Damien, I don't know what you're talking about, which is why I put your comment on here. I'm not blocking anybody, pumpkins. So I won't burn the rice. But anyway, that's our business. And then, of course, you round it up with
Timber.
Timberlands. Hey, come on.
Yeah, I,
How about this
I
guy?
haven't really. I guess he's a good player. I haven't really seen him. I don't really watch the Dutch league, but I think he'll be your dark horse signing, though. I do think he'll be very good for you. I think he'll do a lot better than Arsenal fans think. That's what I personally think.
Can I say that if we didn't sign Rice and he was the first signing, Arsenal fans would be losing their minds. He's really a good player. And a lot of
Really?
fans haven't seen him play. He's very versatile. People not criticize, but they'll mention his height a lot like they did the Butcher when he arrived in Manchester. But he'll prove himself the same way. One of the things I don't like is everyone's immediately casting Benjamin White aside, like he's surplus to requirements. But again, Kyle, you know it. You need position for position, right? If we want to challenge.
Yeah, you need a squad depth. That's massive.
So yeah, Timber, I'm excited about him. Very excited. I think that we have been cooking. And Kyle, let's get to the juicy bit, shall we? Stretch a little bit here. You're gonna need it. Chua-many to Arsenal. What do you think about them apples? Could you see Arsenal really spending another £100 million on a player? I mean, firstly, hello everyone who's been criticizing me for defending the Cronkies for a while. Gooner us in the house. Can you see that? If that happens, that's a game changer. I mean, it's a game changer already, but that's a double game changer. Your thoughts?
Well, who's the source who said it?
People.
Exactly. Case closed. Case is closed. Why would he go to Arsenal over Real Madrid? He'd rather stay Real Madrid over Arsenal.
He wants to leave Real Madrid. Obviously, he feels like maybe he feels like now's the time he can push for more money. He wants to be a guaranteed starter. I think really at Real Madrid this coming season with their aging midfield, would that be a given? I don't know. Ancelotti rumored to be taking over Brazil. I don't know if that's been confirmed for Copa America. So there's stuff that's been brewing both here and in the UK with regards to Chua-many. But my God, wow!
I can't see it. If you was to sign him, it's a great signing though. It's a great signing, but I can't see it happening personally. I haven't seen a reliable source say that, so I can't vouch for that until I see Ornstein or Fabrizio. That's really it.
You called him a tap-in merchant last time we spoke.
He is. Realistically, it'll be Ornstein, and obviously Fabrizio sees it and he'll post it. He posted a picture of him, so that's why I said Ornstein first, because he is the most reliable one.
Yeah. Totally. All right. I have a question for you. All right. So we've talked about Arsenal's transfers. Chua-many would be an absolute game changer already on the game-changing front. Now, there's a couple of things I wanted to just iron out first, because I feel like Arsenal was spending, the narrative's going to twist and it's going to change and it's going to become all about you've got to win when you spend all that money, and rightly so. You can't invest all this money and not have a winning side of some kind. Whether or not we'll be able to topple Manchester City, we'll see, come the end of this transfer window, Kyle. But do you think people are kind of tossing aside Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United, and dare I say, even Liverpool? Liverpool is spending, they're kind of going under the radar. Chelsea have got Pochettino coming in, but they've lost Kovacic, they've lost Kante, they've lost Mount, they've lost Havertz. They've lost someone. Was it Koulibaly as well to Saudi Arabia? Someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Edouard Mendy.
I mean, they've lost a lot of players. I mean, that's a big transition for Pochettino to kind of have to go through and establish some type of consistency. I feel like a little bit like Mikel when he first came, people taking the piss out of him being Pep's cone man, of doing the same with Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham. I don't think they're going to be as bad as people think. They're definitely going to be more fun to watch. I think they'll concede more goals. What's your take on Man United? I think with the sale, you'd think that they'd be spending more money at this point. They're just not. I just don't think it's going to be as cut and dry as people think. What's your take?
No, I think it will speed up towards the end. I think Arsenal are getting their business done early, which I respect. I think that's probably the best way to do it. I think it's a weird one because it's so long, the transfer window. So everyone's like, they've got time, haven't they? Like even obviously you want all your players in before the season starts, but these clubs are so rich where they could just splash 100 mil on the player in August, for example. And it, like,
Hmm.
I think clubs are thinking. I think clubs are really looking at options. Like obviously Liverpool signed obviously Szoboszlai and McAllister. They'll probably sign another two players. Obviously United signed Mount. They'll probably sign a striker and they'll probably get a centre back, maybe a full back as well. City will sign a centre back and a centre mid, maybe two centre mids. And Newcastle, I don't know who they'll sign, but they'll probably sign it. Obviously they sign Tonali and
Good
they'll probably
player.
sign another. Yeah, they'll sign another two, three players. So I think it's just a bit too early. I think when it gets to late July, early August, I think that's when you'll see the news start heating up more about players. I think City would have signed Guardiola by then as well. I think a lot of more clubs will have a real insight on what player they want because these clubs haven't really gone back yet. I don't think City are back in training. Are Arsenal back in training? I
Yeah,
think they
no,
might
we
be.
came
Yeah, they
back
are.
a couple days ago. Well,
Yeah,
those who were on international duty, like Saka's got a bit more time, Ramsdale, Turner is still here playing in the Gold Cup. But yeah, most of our players are back.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
like it's still early days when clubs are going back and that. So give it another week or two, and you'll see more.
Yeah, I
Obviously,
just
more
I
of
just
the
feel like you can't write anyone off just yet. You can't make it a two-horse race in at the beginning of
no,
July.
you can't.
You
You
know?
can't because who knows?
Um
Kane could go United for all we know. Like
they'll be broken. If he listen, I take if he goes, what I said about Spurs, I take back. If he
yeah,
goes to
they'll
He
really
won't play
struggle.
for another club. He'll go to Bayern Munich. He won't
Do you
he
think?
won't go to yeah, he won't go to Man United.
Well, so do you think he'll actually leave?
I
I don't
think
think he'll
he's
leave.
really being tested. Here's a story. My mate's brother, who drinks at the pub with Harry Kane's family. Now, I think he's being tested. And his biggest dilemma is the obvious one. Does he want personal glory or does he want to win trophies? And let me ask you this, because I know Kev's answer would be trophies all day long. He can sit there and he can stroke the Division One championship, the FA Cup, European trophy. I mean, he can do that. At the end of the day, you're a player. What do you want? Trophies, or do you want a personal accolade to tell your kids, I was the top scorer in the Premier League? I am the top scorer, which one day, by the way, someone will break that record too. What would you want?
Uh, I'd rather have trophies than personal accolades. That's me personally. Obviously, everyone's different, but I play that Harry Kane needs a trophy at least. To be fair, if he was to stay at Spurs, and let's say if he was to win a Euros for England, for example, technically, can he get away with that? He hasn't won that. He hasn't won a club cup, but he's won an international cup for his country. So can he? Does
Oof.
that kind of count?
Well, look, let's caveat. Let's talk about it this way. Some people didn't feel Messi was the GOAT, and he'd won everything except the World Cup, right? And
Yeah,
once he won the World Cup, some people dotted the I and crossed the T on him being the GOAT. Um, for me, I think in order of the comparison to Maradona, yes, he had to win the World Cup. In comparison to Alan Shearer, I would say that if he won the Euros with England, they would laud him. He would become Sir Harry Kane. It would be enough. But in terms of club level, he still wouldn't have won anything with Tottenham.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's a. I think he would just be able to get away with it if he was to win a cup with England. I think people would kind of ignore the whole not winning anything with Spurs
Yeah.
because
They
he
would
has won something, hasn't he?
Mhm. They would definitely be more forgiving, wouldn't they? I think is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
because he still
Yeah.
won something.
Lynn, this would be great. In celebration of I think it was 2 days ago, the anniversary of signing Sol Campbell. That would be amazing. We would literally break Tottenham Football Club if we signed Harry Kane up front right now. Could you imagine? We'd break them. I actually think they'd fold the entire club.
Yeah, 100%.
Pochettino to
Levy
Chelsea.
he would flee.
Okay.
He would flee the country. Daniel Levy. I don't know. He'll go to like Dubai. Somebody just hide in Dubai for the rest of his
Totally.
life.
Pochettino at Chelsea, Kyle, and Kane at the Arsenal. I mean, I think my family would burn their season tickets. It would be great to see. Okay, that's the second subject of the day. Listen, let's get to Campbell's Corner. What's cooking in Campbell's Corner tonight? What you got for me? Have you got anything that's got your goat or anything that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah. I've got one or two things. The first thing is, have you seen this Twitter thing what Elon Musk did, where you can only see 600 tweets? Have you seen that?
What is that about?
Exactly. What is that about? I don't get it.
I don't either. Like, why? Is that a control thing? Are you trying to limit? You've already made it like a cesspool of, I
Yeah.
don't know, nothing. I joined this thing called Threads today. I don't even know what it's about. People have been writing to me. They're saying, Soph, you need to get on Threads. That's where everyone's going to be talking. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I always take care of my threads. I've got good threads. I wear them, Kyle. But apparently now it's a place where you go and talk. Do you know about this Threads place? You heard
Never
about
heard
it?
of it. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently
I
it's
just don't get why I did it.
I don't either. At first I was really excited. I thought, he's such an innovative person. He's going to make Twitter a much better place.
Yeah.
Not sure
you got to pay now. You got to pay for a blue tick to then see. It's not an unlimited post you can see. It's like 1,600. It's like, what's that about? I don't really get it.
Can I also ask, who has time to read 600 tweets in a day? Is that something I do without thinking about it? Is that something I'm lost him? See, there he is. He's back. I didn't even boot him off this time. Kyle, do you think that we actually look at 600 posts a day? Like whether you're on Instagram or whether you're on Twitter? Because I'm thinking if I'm looking at 600 posts, I need to be doing something different with my time.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I agree with that. I just think why put it in? If you know people, obviously there must be a lot of people reaching that limit. I've only reached it once, but why put it in the first place? Like what? It's not really going to do much, though, is it? Like, why do it? Like, people are still going to go in it. People are still going to use it. I know you're limiting it, but like,
I don't get it.
Some people work off Twitter, don't they? So what? So you can't do your job anymore. Like,
I don't get it.
People from making money. I don't really get what he's trying to get out there.
Let's see what the squaddies are saying. You don't read them also, but a lot of people passively scroll past roughly 50 posts in an hour. But that's not reading. That's scrolling. That's totally different. Alcarp, it's not that hard. A post is comments. I don't understand what that means. Clock Orange, I barely look at 60. Damn, 600 is decent, I would say. It's impressions, says Jay. So even if you don't read and scroll past it, it counts. That's a bullshit algorithm. I mean, that's ridiculous. No Laguna in the house. Hope you had a good vacation going back to the motherland. 600 is total push through your timeline, not necessarily ones you see. You've opened up a whole can of worms, Kyle. I don't look at many. You can scroll past 615 minutes. Yeah, if you're you, Newman, probably. There's data scraping, bots messing things up. They're all messing things up. Everyone's messing everything. What is Facebook? It's one letter off FBI. I once ate his liver. Yeah, was that good? Yeah?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, here we go. What else? Anything else that's got your goat? Anything else you wanted to bring up? Or was that the one that was really just bugging the buggery out of you?
Actually, yeah. Have you seen this new FA Cup?
Oh, yeah.
The new rules they're putting in place.
Why does everyone want to
or was it
destroy the FA
next
Cup?
year?
Why? Why,
No,
Kyle?
I don't get it. Like, why? I don't. I've not got a clue why they do this. Just leave it how it is. There's no reason to change it. You're just making it inconvenient for other players. I just like I saw one thing about the low, the lower levels. You play their game in the midweek, okay, but people have work. Why you let them play on a Saturday when they can be up for it? I just don't
Yeah.
get the thought process behind it. It's exciting when you watch FA Cup highlights of the round one. It's all on weekends and where you
You,
get big crowds.
you know, the thing I don't like the most is I'm bringing up the rest of the rules as well, but the one that really got my goat, by the way, good night, Gunnar Russ. Sweet dreams. God bless you. Don't let the bed bugs bite now. And remember to count Arsenal players instead of sheep to help you go to sleep. Um, I don't like that there's no replay for the small clubs. They live
Exactly.
off that, Kyle.
Like that gets them the money. That gets them the money. Gets them the revenue, and they're just stopping it. It's like the rich get richer, but the poor get poor. That's it. That's what it's like. And I think I've got a feeling that they will change it, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't change it because they're so arrogant. So
Yeah.
it's just sad.
Well, it is. We're going to talk about this a little bit more in a future show. But they're talking about from the fourth round onwards, it changing. There being no replays, no extra times, and just really continually squeezing the FA Cup competition for all that they can, so they can add more games. And look, the FA Cup is suffering because now the Club World Cup championship has been expanded. Champions League's been expanded. They're expanding international competitions. And unfortunately, one day, someday, it's going to happen, kids. So cherish it while it's here. I think the FA Cup and the League Cup will be seeing dark days coming up.
Yeah,
And you know what? You can blame Manchester United for that. They started it. They're the ones that started diminishing the FA Cup and the value of the FA Cup at home when they went off to play in that Club World Cup competition that year. All the pressure.
hmm
It's just it's a bit of a joke, really, a bit of a
I
joke.
agree.
And James Johnson in the house, which by the way, stick around. This is a great point. Having some ties with Dagenham and Redbridge. Jay goes to a lot of local games. Not that they've done well in cups, but pulling a big boy at home or drawing one away is massive. It is. They're trying to change our game completely, and I'm for it. Look, Kyle is a whole generation, maybe two, younger than me, and you cherish the FA Cup.
Yeah, I do. I actually find the most exciting parts of the FA Cup are when it's round one, round two, and the low semi-pro teams are playing the pro teams. Like they're the games that I look forward to watching because you, you don't get them every day, and yet
Hmm.
it's like, oh, it's going to get taken away from you now because
Exactly,
we don't want that.
it is.
We want the games. We want to get to the bigger games. We want to get to the finals, the semi-finals at Wembley because people don't care about the lower games. Where realistically, the FA Cup is all for the magic of the cup, really, isn't it? Like, that's the
Yep.
whole point. It's the magic of the FA Cup. Like, the amount of teams that get knocked out by lower teams is like it always happens every year. There's always a lower team that always goes to round of 16 quarters and gets beat. Like Grimsby, wasn't it? This season it was Grimsby
Yeah.
Town. They
I
got
mean,
far.
even
So
Southampton getting as far as they did, like clubs like that, and then you've got the big showcase final, like United versus City. But you've had this lovely narrative of some giant killings along the way, and the magic of the cup, like you said, Kyle. So
yeah,
good too that you have brought up on the show today, especially one with the FA Cup, and we'll keep our close eye on that as well. It is. It's like it's all coming back. It's all going to come back. It's all. Listen, they just put a
I think it'll
pause on
happen.
it. It's
It'll
going to
happen.
happen.
Yeah,
It really is. It's just a matter of time. Our game's changing. And I have to say, Carl, I don't know how you feel about. I try to be really careful about how to talk about these things, but, you know, I like it when leagues come and they do well. For example, I've covered MLS for a number of years, but there's been a strategic plan in place for the growth of MLS. And since 96, it was amazing to be at the Rose Bowl the other night because it was circling back for LA Galaxy when they first started playing. There were no stadiums. They had to play their games at the Rose Bowl. So there was this really kind of wonderful circling back to how the game has grown, all the soccer, football specific stadiums now. And it has been a growth and a path, methodically planned. Now, whether you like the business model or not with salary caps, there's nothing I can do or say about that. A little bit like the Chinese league, it feels like the Saudi league is just coming and throwing money because it can. I'll buy you because I can. Now, who am I to say that's good or bad for anybody? People do what they want, what's in the best interest of their families. If someone came to me today and offered me a ton of money to go and work out there, I'd have to really consider it. However, I feel that it's a bit of an empty, soulless thing. How do you feel about it?
Well, it's about the Saudi league.
Just like players going. Look, I get it. Ronaldo's gone for a final big payday. Benzema, they've paid their due. Some of the younger players going, or players you felt like still had a little bit to give. I mean, who am I to say? Maybe they feel like they've done it all. What do you think?
I think it's sad. I think it's sad to see some players go in there because some players have such a big future and they're throwing it away just to get a big paycheck. Which I understand. Look, football is a job at the end of the day. You want to make as much money as possible. I get that, but at the same time, though, don't you play football? I play football as well for the love of the game, really.
Mm-hmm.
And these players must not be playing for the love of the game because I would not go to Saudi Arabia to play for the love of the game. I would go there to play for money, really, because what is the Saudi league done for you to really show it that much respect to go over there and play for the love of the game? Like, you're not really playing against world-class players, where in Europe, you're playing against world-class players, especially in the Premier League. And players are leaving the Prem who have got a good 3-4 years left in them to go to Saudi Arabia for a paycheck. I don't agree with it. Everyone's different, but I think it's a bit rash from some players, really. I think they're just thinking about the money. Where it's fair enough, but who's saying that in another 2-3 years they may come in for you again and offer you more money? Then you can go because you're near the end of your career then. But I think players are just jumping at it straight away, where they should really think about it and think their money is never gonna go. It's always
it's not going to run out.
More. It's always going to increase by more. So why don't you just stay and then get more money from them?
Yeah. VJ says, before we say soulless, we should at least watch a few matches when EPL was buying out players from every other league because they had money. It's not about that. It's about history. I don't agree with what you're saying because there's no history. Some people want to come and play in England or Spain or Germany or France or Italy because of the history. Some people want to go to Milan because Van Basten played there or Capello managed there or Sacchi or Baresi and Maldini. Some people want to go to Manchester United because George Best played there, Brian Robson, Ronaldo. There's history. So we're basing it on stuff. The Premier League it came into 92 with money. Yes, money changed the game, but it was based on something. It was based on a massive amount of history. And I think that's what Kyle's talking about, is that you want to win the Champions League. That one day, you or your brother might want to emulate, of course you want to play in the Champions League, right? You want to win the FA Cup. Yeah. You want to do all of those things.
Yeah, I do. I want to win everything there is to win, really, in football. And if someone was to go to you, but you win everything in the Saudi Arabia League, I'll be like, what?
The other thing too, people underestimate. Okay, now I'm saying the food's probably amazing in Saudi Arabia. My brother works part-time in Qatar, right? And I'm gonna say the money's great, but also I'd rather what Messi did joining MLS and not going to Saudi, I think was one of the best things that's happened to football the entire summer. I love that he turned down $1 billion. I love that he chose to come here. He's got family, he's got kids. The lifestyle here is great. You know, his kids. It's a different vibe. Now, some people may love the lifestyle in Saudi Arabia, and good for them. But personally, I think, you know, what Messi did is a game changer. You guys can agree or disagree with me. Let me know in the comments. You can agree or disagree with Kyle. Let us know what you think. History does have a starting point, though, Sophie. Of course it does. And there's only one way to make history, yes, and that's to start. And I get that. But I just...
It's not a footballing nation, though, is it? It's not really a footballing nation, Saudi Arabia. So
I mean, like, that's a whole other conversation in terms of what they're doing with Formula One and boxing and, you know, and football now, and golf, of course, we've seen the road that goes down, and what kind of has transpired there. So lots more conversations to have on this one as well. Right. I promised you Mr. Super Kevin Campbell, and you will get him right now. Steve Round has left the Arsenal by mutual consent. So we're not only elevating on the pitch, we're also elevating around our manager. Here is Super Kev, recorded earlier today. And of course, he's decked out in the dicky bow. Grab a tea. This is going to be a 2-minute clip exclusively from Super Kev. Here we go.
Sophie, squaddies, I hope you're well. At ease, squaddies, at ease. The question was, Soph, you asked me to say a little piece about Steve Round. Obviously, him and Mikel seem to have a really good connection, and the team were improving. For sure, every season they've improved. But I think now, you know, sad to see him go, and I wish him well. But I think it's a great opportunity. I really do. There's a great opportunity ahead for Mikel to get somebody in who can take the team to the next level. That's the one, isn't it? You know, if one goes, that's what's got to happen. There's got to be a transition. There's got to be somebody who comes in who maybe even gets more out of the players. You know, there's a lot more to work with a bit of luck. Some really good signings in there. You know, no disrespect to Steve Round, but you know, he's not there anymore. So we've got to look forward, and we've got to really take the bull by the horns in this one. I really think the next appointment, Mikel's got to get this one right. We know the pressure's on, don't we? We do know the pressure's on, but this is what we got to live with. You want to be around the top, you want to spend all that money, we better be able to live with pressure. And the new coach coming in, he's got to make a definite impact. With Mikel, obviously. So that's my thoughts. I'm not sure what you guys think, but I'm sure I'll watch it back. Sorry I can't be with you, but duty calls. But anyway, everybody, look after yourself. Lots of love. Tell your loved ones you love them. You know, I love you. We love you. And at ease, squaddies, at ease.
Brilliant stuff there from Super Kev. I totally agree with him. You know, one of the things Arsenal are into now, we're in a different phase, Kyle, where we're going to see people leave the club who we like. Yeah. And that is a really different vibe altogether. You know, Xhaka turned it around. Had he left last season, it would have been a totally different story. I think we would have put him on the boat to Roma and, you know, given it a kick out of the port. Whereas now, like getting the red carpet out for him, dusting it down, on your way. You know, thank you for everything. Yeah. Kieran Tierney, whether he stays or goes, a player that we love and have fallen in love with. Steve Round came in, helped Mikel Arteta focus on the important things he needed to, took care of things the way he needed to as an assistant. This is a good thing, I think, for us.
Yeah. It's a change, isn't it? Changes happen in football. Like, that with City as well, like, we've obviously lost Arteta, we lost Rodolfo, we've lost also that Enzo, the I think the assistant to Pep this season. I think it is Pep's assistant. We lose everyone, but then we just get new ones in, and then they bring in their own little philosophies, the way, the difference we can play. Like literally, it's always been a good thing for City when we, like, obviously it's sad to see him go, but the way we play, we don't really change. We still play a good style of football, and we get better as well because it's different views in the game as well, different ideas. So I think this will be good for Arsenal. I think Arsenal will thrive off this.
I agree with you. And I wanted to put Demsex up because I used to get really jealous when Ferguson used to evolve his team. And same thing, Pep. He's very much a cyclical manager. You have to refresh, reboot. You don't want the same voices talking at that same speed with the same intensity over and over again. You need, new mouthpieces. And I think a new assistant coming in is going to reboot it for the players, refresh it for the players. And even Fergie, he did the same thing with, not only his assistants, but, Yap Stam, surplus to requirements, off you go. David Beckham, surplus to requirements, off you go. Kevin said early on, we got to be super ruthless. And that means turnkey for us as a club across the board. And I know a lot of people are talking about Santi Cazorla. I want someone to come in who has experience a little bit. If we're getting rid of Steve Round, who had a great rapport with the team and with Mikel, Santi Cazorla, I get it. All these players doing their badges and they're ready to come in. I don't know about you, Kyle, but I don't think that we are as stable yet. I think we've built a great foundation and a good backbone, but I don't think we have that Manchester City-esque backbone yet, where saying goodbye to Xhaka and waving goodbye to maybe Thomas Partey and saying goodbye to Steve Round and a lot of these leaders, I think we need to be a little bit careful as well about who comes in. So for me, I'd rather see someone with more experience than Santi.
Yeah, Arteta would already have his replacement in, really. He knows who's going to get in. Like, I don't really think you want an ex-player coming in because that can backfire a lot. But I think ideally you need someone who has done that before and who knows what they're doing. Like, I remember when Arteta left, people were saying Lampard's going to be City's assistant. I was like, I didn't really want Lampard. Obviously, it's lucky we didn't get him because he struggles as a manager. He may be a good assistant, who knows, but he hasn't done enough to show me that he would be a good assistant. So I think it's just better having someone with experience who's actually done the assistant role well to actually
I agree.
do a job.
Let's keep our eye on that, what happens. I know, Lynn, you brought up Vieira. I think Vieira's taken the job at Strasbourg now. Freddie coming back, I think he's had his time. I want to keep moving forward. I want more light bulbs. I want more speakers playing You'll Never Walk Alone. I want different, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm here for the ride. And so whoever comes in, that will have our support. But I think, like Super Kev said, we really need to make sure that we're elevating the game. All right. Please make sure you hit that like button for the Totally Transfer Show. We've given you a little bit of everything. Kyle, what else did I have on your agenda that I haven't asked you about yet? Anything? Or have I got you on all the homework?
I think you've got me on all the homework. I think
right.
Really anything else, is there?
There's a couple of things, a couple of housekeeping items. One, I have a question to ask you as well about the young kids. Oh, I got a summons for jury duty. Can't go. It's when Arsenal are here. Shouldn't say that live on television. I have a very important family event. How do I get out of jury duty? Everyone needs your help, basically. It's bad timing. But my jury summons is here. I have it in my hand. Don't want to show you my address, of course, but it's here. Any ideas? Think about it, Kyle. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see you thinking of things that might not be recommended live on air, so you can WhatsApp me about I don't get in trouble with the federales. It's not a federal offense. Come on, I'm just joking. I should never have brought this up. I knew this would happen. Newman's clearly done this before. Just say you can't get away from work and you'll lose a lot of money. I lose a lot of money talking to you guys every day, believe it or not. Yeah.
Or just like vanish to a different country.
Red. Yeah, exactly. Okay, the other piece of news I have, it's not news. Okay, so here's what I'm going to be doing this coming season. I'm going to be sharing, you guys, I love my Talented Gooners show and I love my Talented Gooners. And I'm a huge fan of James Johnston's brother. Okay. And he is a DJ musician. He's a musician. He's an artist. And I want to know what you think, Kyle. I saved this because I've got the kids here, right? To tell me if this music is fly or not. And just remember, whether or not you think it is, you say it is. No, joking. Tell me what you think. And I'm going to be playing a lot more music from people. Apparently I can do it for 20 seconds and I won't get in trouble. But yeah, so if you have people that you love, the Highbury Squad at gmail.com, send me stuff. I'm going to have them on the show. We're going to be highlighting more of our talented Gooners. And James's brother, Juan Johnston, very talented. Check this out.
Yeah,
Kyle?
I like that. I think that's good. That's something you hit like a beach club, isn't it?
Yeah. When you're in the cabana and you've ordered a bucket and it's like sun's like getting a little looser. It's that 4 o'clock hour on the beach.
That's what I think. Yep.
In fact, I'm going to show another video now. And if I could play them both at the same time, this is my favorite video from my vacation. I would be playing James's song with this video. The boat, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I agree. It's one of them. It's a summer tune. It really is.
It is. Ibiza Sunset, says Mark. Music doesn't sound bad, right, says Suraj. Almost as good as my music. Mark says he heard the music. He loves it. He's very good, says Brady's Banana. James says that he's the most talented of the Johnston brothers, but his hair's not as good. Here's what you need to do. You need to go follow him, please. This is James's brother's Twitter. Is his name really Juan, James? What? Come on. But here it is. Go follow it. Check out the tunes. Brilliant stuff on Spotify as well. And we're going to be playing his anthems throughout next season. And we're going to have a lot of really cool things happening. Like there's going to be the Highbury Squad radio show, which is going to be like a traditional radio show for 2 hours live, and going to be hitting up some music stuff. And James's brother is very kindly going to let us use his tunes as well. So there, I said it out loud. It's a new show that's coming next season. That will be once a week, and you guys will love it and enjoy it. But I'm not going to tell you anymore because I don't want to peak too soon, Kyle. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
You've got to let it sizzle a bit. It's got to sizzle a bit.
Gotta let it sizzle. I've got to let it sizzle. I do want to share a couple of things with you guys. I did have a great vacation. Have you figured out who this is yet, though? I mean, he doesn't. Maybe does he not look like Jorginho to you? A little bit.
Jorginho, no.
No?
Really.
No. Okay.
I think it looks more like Gundogan.
No. Side profile, maybe not as much. But first I was like, no. Why would Jorginho be sitting in these seats on this flight going to Frankfurt? Probably not him. But anyway. You know how you see lookalikes on holiday? Here's what happened in Naples. Every restaurant you go into, who are you greeted by? Maradona. I mean, even the cafe down the street. Standee of Maradona. He is everywhere. So I was having a pizza, by the way, Kyle. This is the greatest pizza I've ever had in my life. Well, I can never have pizza ever again from anywhere, ever. Pizza's dead to me now.
That's good.
was so good. The ricotta on that, let me tell you, I
that was
dream
good.
about it at night.
That was really good.
It was unreal. So these young fellas were sitting next to me on the table, and I'm always, sure to say, look, I'm not trying to pick you up here. I'm an old lady. But I was really curious because they were wearing 2 Napoli shirts and the other 2 lads weren't wearing a shirt at all. And I said, oh, you guys must be huge Napoli fans. Of course, just won the Scudetto. And one of the guys says, actually, I'm a Milan fan. And the other guy said, I'm a Juventus fan. I'm like, why are you wearing Napoli shirts? And he goes, oh, because we love Maradona. And I'm like,
wow,
you can't do that.
You can't do that.
And then I said, what about the new Napoli team that won? Like, Osimhen, all these great players. They're like, no, Maradona. This guy is a god. I knew he was a god. Yeah. But let me tell you, when he is framed like Jesus in front of most restaurants, literally you see people kind of go like that as they go in.
Really?
Unreal.
That's crazy.
Well, no, I mean, I may have exaggerated that bit, but...
He's a hero there, though.
Yeah. I mean, craziness. So it was fun. Yeah, the best pizza. This is the best sea bass I think I've ever had in my life. Just wanted to share it with you. This branzino was absolutely unbelievable. The best pasta I had was in Rome. I'm looking at it like now I would look at rice the same way I look at pasta, and that's lovely. This is Tony having fun in Venice on the boat. It was great to see her bouncing back. My view. How about that for a view in Venice? Yeah.
You just jump in, couldn't you?
Yeah. And then this is Maximus and Placido. And I met them in Venice. I was just sitting there admiring the gondolas go by. And they are serenaders. And they were absolute goats. Let me tell you, these two just sit there all day and watch the world go by. And they work at night serenading people. I'm like, where did I go wrong in life? How can I get a job like that? I try to serenade the squaddies. Doesn't seem to be working, Kyle.
Yeah. It's just practice, isn't it, I guess?
Yes. Amazing. Amazing. Venice is a bit stinky. It's very unsanitary, to be honest with you, Venice. It's very, I didn't feel like it was a romantic city at all. I can see why people do, but for me, not. Rome is much more romantic. The Amalfi Coast,
Rome. Yeah.
Romantic. I found Venice to be fascinating because of the architecture, and like the hotel we were staying in was this 15th century building. All of those things. You'll never see a place like it in your life. So you have to try and get there at least once. But I wouldn't go back. But I loved it. I love Italy. I think Italy is probably the best European. I'd maybe have Italy over Greece. Jeez, did I say that out loud?
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow.
That's it. That's what I did on my holiday. And that's it for the show. I've got nothing else to give. Do you, Kyle?
Yeah. So I said all my bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Said what I've had to say, really. It's one of them times, isn't it, in football where it's just transfers. Waiting for pre-season to get up and running for our clubs, and obviously we'll have a bit more to report on.
Yeah, definitely.
One of them things.
Let's see. Let's get some questions here. Careful, Soph, they'll revoke. I know, I shouldn't have said that. Lynn said, for me, St. Mark's Square was enough. Oh, that place. I mean, it's like Trafalgar. Who goes sit in Trafalgar Square and have a coffee? Nobody. Why do you want to go sit in St. Mark's Square and pay 20 euros for a coffee? I mean, the view is not that much better than Trafalgar Square or Piccadilly Circus. James says, I used to have my picture at the front of Clown's Pizza in Colchester, not because I was the world's best player, though, because I ate 25 slices. That's amazing. Let's see. He influences everyone, even his haters. It's unbelievable. Seriously. Cosy T, late to the show, but hello to you as well, Kyle. Pizza in the UK stinks, does it? Do hit the squad. Do hit the like button on the way out. There, I shared a little bit of my summer holiday with you. I did have one more question for Carl, but I'm going to save it for the next show instead. Let's see. Cosy says, my summer trip to the Emirates with my kids, they were in heaven. Brady said, I had a night in the cells for serenading off the River Foyle Bridge. We have to know that story. That's amazing. Okay. We're going to have to know that. Sophie, I used to live in Italy for years, but it can never be replaced. It's a wonderful country. Oh, it's just wonderful. Honestly, we had the best time. No, I didn't say that out loud. Just pretend I didn't. Okay, Kyle, your final word, your parting shot for the squaddies. What is it for today?
It's going to be everyone have a good rest of the week. Obviously, it's Friday tomorrow, so everyone work hard and enjoy the weekend coming up and have a good July. And obviously, I'll be seeing you some more in July as well for some more shows. Obviously, Guardiola as well. He's got 3 cups to his name now this season.
Did you say cops? Did you say cups or cops? Because cops really goes well with this.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't, does it? Look at him. He's magnificent, Guardiola.
I love it.
Yeah, just everyone to stay safe and just stay blessed and have a good rest of the weekend. And just stay cool.
Stay cool.
Really say. Yeah.
All right, stay cool. I hope you're all having a good summer, no matter what you're doing. And remember, it's really important to go outside. Stop refreshing Twitter a little bit, especially now with the new rules that are in place that have pissed Kyle off, especially. Okay. Smell the air, do something physical outside. That's what I'm going to say. Right. We will be back live for Monday Madness. Some special shows lined up. Lots of love to you guys. Thank you. Hey, great show. Report from Big Bro here.
Yes,
we did good. We did good. We did. Maybe I could convince him. Do you think he'll come on, have a word?
Ty, you know how what this means to us. The Champions League trophy.
This is the fantastic thing about being the host is you can remove him at any time, which is phenomenal. I don't know why I love doing that so much. It's one of my favorite things to do. Amazing. Listen, Kevin's got a lot to answer for. Now we got two of them.
Yeah.
I revoke my invitation for Ty to come on the show. I revoke the invite. It's done. It's over. Thanks so much, squaddies. Have a good one. Stay safe. We'll be back on Monday. Kyle and I will be back again soon. Look out on the community page for that. In the meantime, be safe, everyone, and take care of each other. And as Super Kev says, tell your loved ones you love them. At ease, everyone. At ease. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.